Hey everyone, it's Cam, and today I want to talk about drug-induced mental breakdowns and really the benefits that can come from them. First things first, I am by no means encouraging anybody to do any type of drug. I make my own choices in life, and you can make your own, but I do not encourage anybody to partake in anything. I just wish to educate and enlighten others on maybe different topics that doesn't really get talked about all that often and that really play a factor in my life. That being said, that would be drug-induced mental breakdowns. They started happening to me earlier this year. So 2021, I don't know, maybe beginning of spring, I'm not sure. I had this one experience and I had only really had a challenging trip one other time, but it was nothing like this. I fell into a thought loop, and it was a thought loop of infinity, and it was very overwhelming. I was laying down in my bed, and I got this thought that just like really threw me for a loop, and then I fell into that loop. If it wasn't for my wife being able to recognize what happened to me and tell me that I was having a mental breakdown, then I don't think that I would have been able to pull myself or take a step back and observe what was happening to me. So that's the point of this video today, is that I wish to educate and let everyone know that you really need to be aware of everything and every possibility that can happen when taking any type of substance, and especially when it comes to the substances that truly affect your psyche. That being like Molly, or so any MDMA, any type of psychedelic or anything that uses your brain in a different way. So they can tend to be, I can't really say, but they can tend to be very vivid in what you are hearing from yourself within, at least from my own perspective. Being aware prior to going into any type of trip, having any type of knowledge going into prior knowledge going into any type of trip will only help you. I promise you, it will only help you. If you understand that you can prepare yourself to the point where you can basically just observe and reflect on what is happening, observe and report on what is happening to you. You can basically be a third person within your own first person body. The more that you practice meditation and things like breath work and shadow work, the more that you get yourself comfortable with things like that, the easier it will be to deal with these types of breakdowns. And that meaning, like, when you can understand what meditation truly does for you, it does for your mind, does for your body, does for your spirit, does for everything, the more that you will be able to control what is happening, and not controlling in the sense that you can stop the trip from happening and stop the breakdown from happening, but you can control how you're reacting to it. And that's all you really ever can do with anything, right? Is just control how you react to things. You can't control everything from the outside. You can only control from what's within. The easiest methods that I use, and I've had very different types of breakdowns, but they've all been different sorts of mental breakdowns. The different types of methods you can use is, if you're in the midst of it, noticing your breath and feeling the breath coming from your nose and in your nose and out of your mouth, however it's going, just your breath going in and out. It can help you, latching onto that and noticing that can help you really center into what is happening, and from there you can move forward from that and do your best to take a step back. Because once you start breathing in and breathing within, and then you sit down and meditate, and regardless of what's happening, if you can sit down and meditate, even if you can't, if you are having a psychotic breakdown, and I've had a very crazy laughing fit before. If you're having some sort of type of psychotic breakdown, then you can meditate in the moment, right? So if you're taking a step back and you're observing what is happening, all you can do is just observe. If you understand that this prior knowledge of this being a drug, right? Take that with you the entire trip, that this is just a drug, this is just a substance. Take that with you the entire trip, and keep that in the back of your mind. You don't gotta think about it, but keep it in the back of your mind, and it'll come out. It'll come out in the most profound ways, because if you break that into yourself and you really tell yourself that, because you may not know that. You're never going to know that it's going to happen. I mean, you may have a feeling it's going to happen, but you're never really going to know when it's going to happen. But after your first time, because the first time is always going to catch you off guard. After your first time, if you continue to go forward with indulging any type of substance, then you need to really, truly educate yourself. You need to give yourself time after that experience to reflect and dissect what is happening. Because if you just run away from, and you just let that fear consume, then you're missing the point. A drug-induced mental breakdown is not something that is wrong with your brain. It's what's wrong with your mind in that moment, in that period of time. We all go through shit, man. I know that my trips this year have been pretty crazy because my brain's been everywhere all the time. But you need to always stay strong for yourself, and the way to do that is by loving yourself. If you just love yourself all the time, you'll have this quiet confidence that will always sit within, and it'll roar like a lion in the moments you need it most. Use your feelings that you're getting, these negative things, dissect that. Like, you can only do it really after the trip. You can't do it during the trip. All you can do is observe. But when you're observing, it's allowing you to digest everything that's happening, so you can remember it more. So after the trip, you give yourself time to dissect. You'll come out with either answers to questions you weren't even asking, or didn't even know that were asked, or you'll just come out with more questions, which can lead to more profound answers. It will only make you stronger. It's very cliche, but it's true. When it comes to mental things, if what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, that's not true for physical things. Like, I mean, you break your finger and you snap it back, and it breaks. Like, yeah, that didn't kill me, but like, I don't think that's making me stronger. I just don't. But when it comes to mental things, it's very easy to learn from the experience. That's all you can ever do. You can only win and learn, never lose. If they continue to keep happening, then you really probably should seek out someone to talk to, whether that be a therapist or whatever. I mean, sometimes it's just a friend you need, but you need to be able to express yourself in different ways, and doing that will just, sometimes when you speak it out loud, it may be in your brain. When you speak it out loud, it kind of solidifies the thought, right? And it kind of helps you look at what you're saying and digest what you're saying from there. And it can only be good for you. It can never be bad for you. Letting out emotion, and if it's something that makes you cry and break down, it's going to be good for you, because the breakdowns are meant to happen. They are meant to make you stronger. They are meant for you to experience them and learn from them, not to run away from them. Running away from them will never do you any type of good. So I hope that I helped with anything. I hope that I reached somebody, and this can give you some sort of a good feeling within to move forward, because especially drugs, but especially psychedelics. And by drugs, I don't mean like coke and meth and heroin and shit like that. I mean the more psychological drugs, because that's what I like, and that's what I think is the best thing to use recreationally, but that's just an opinion thing. These substances are very, very sacred, and they require a lot of respect, and sometimes they demand that respect, and you got to give it to them. If you don't want to give it to them, it's just going to keep on having a challenging experience, and that's not always fun to go through. And you can have a fun time on these substances. So be true to yourself, love yourself, one love.